I'll download it for 1 year, the Harmonic Reactor. It's a vast material, which if you go to my website, marinajacobi.com, you're gonna see the books there, which the second one was nanotechnology. And it was very advanced extraterrestrial technologies. It was just, everything was in code, and it was given in 5th-dimensional structure. And these technologies were for teleportation device, for healing, frequencies, and from 1 to 9, what is that frequency doing in a quantum structure, how everything is connected. Then they gave me quantum algorithm for artificial intelligence, but it's not the Archon artificial intelligence, was 5th-dimensional structure, because consciousness is going into a new 5th-dimensional structure, new Earth, and you're shifting parallel realities. So basically what you're doing was shifting in completely different timeline that has nothing to do with the 3-dimensional structure. And basically these technologies were based on that for 5th-dimensional. So when you read the Harmonic Reactor, I was not allowed to change one word, because it was given in a sequence and is rewiring your synapses and triggering 5th-dimensional DNA structure when you read it. That's why it doesn't matter if you understand the technology is not, triggers you, and you also imprinting that frequency into the quantum structure, so you give probability in your reality to see technologies like that, because we're going to go interstellar, whoever is in a 5th-dimensional structure. Now individually it could be different for everybody. While I can, for example, have a contact, the other person can do something for 5th-dimensional Earth, that we're gonna go basically, what I was told, we're gonna go into crypto. But that's the beginning of decentralizing the major systems that are basically suppress humanity. And little by little, we're gonna go into utopia society. How it's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, I don't know. They never told me. They gave predictions for 2020 will be, 2019 especially is gonna be a huge thing of basically exposure for all the system that manipulated humanity, because what's happening here, once you start vibrating in 5th-dimensional structure, and somebody that is 3-dimensional vibrational sequence is a different type of consciousness, and if you're doing this against humanity, something will happen in your platform that through synchronicity you will be exposed, because you're simply not matching the 5th-dimensional structure of vibration. So no matter how clever you think you are, basically it's going to be exposed. And they start teaching me also quantum manifestation, how everything in a quantum structure is combining, how you're shifting the reality, and everything was taught to me hands-on. Everything was hands-on. No matter if they say something, they will tell me what is the hologram, how is the hologram, how you shifting, and I will be giving testing and testing and testing one after the other, so I can implement the structure. So in the end, with my co-producer Joe Penna, we end up doing webinars, you know, and basically I end up teaching the entire protocol of the quantum manifestation protocol. Is Marina Jacobi quantum manifestation part 1, part 2, and so on, is exactly the way they taught me. The hybrids also detox my body, taught me how to you also have that protocol in my website, Marina Jacobi Detox, and you're gonna see exactly how they detox me, because your body and consciousness has to be one unit. And when it's one unit, your molecules starting vibrating in 5th-dimensional structure, becomes more silica. So now this new frequency is becoming through your body very easily, because you need to hold the vibration for the new consciousness, the new energy to come in. So you can see this type of timeline. So basically, anybody that does not vibrate and didn't clear out their karma, and karma is actually out of balance, accumulating frequencies that in a dense magnetic and gravitational field. And in order for you to move forward, you have to forget, forgive, clear out your karma, and all these protocols in a quantum manifestation protocol. It's a vast material, it's a quantum structure, you have to study it, because when you are presented in a situation, you have to know exactly how to implement in a quantum structure. And if anybody wants to listen to it, please go and study it. You have to really learn it. But basically, what I can just say briefly is consciousness is made from one particle. and that particle is vibrating in a very high speed of vibration that is appearing next to itself to infinite amount of probabilities. So when you look at from a side, you're gonna see this particle that is going like this, but is next to itself, and yet is the same particle the way the hand is. It's just extension, but each extension has infinite probabilities of realities. So basically, when that particle goes down in vibration, becomes matter. And when you put a thought, becomes a holographic expression. And because the particle is nano, which is the nanomateria, is the second book that I have, when that particle expands to everything in the entire universe, to infinite, and collapses to the smallest of the smallest to infinite. And in the middle is the 0 points, the stillness, when you do all the manifestation and shifting from one reality to another, because there's no time. And how is no time? Because when you do all the calculations, in the end you see that this particle is flickering and it's shifting like a picture frame, and you're creating from a picture frame hologram of Earth, and then you shifting, you project another frequency, and you create another hologram, and you're shifting like a picture frame, and you recreating, reprint with everything inside, and basically there's nobody outside of you. You basically like in a matrix of the movie Matrix, the way you print everything. This is what's happening. So when I'm talking to you, I'm printing you in my hologram to have an experience, but actuality, you're extension of that particle that end up flickering like this. So, and is the same particle, but it's a different image. So that's why everybody has to pay attention how they act towards others, because when you act and go after somebody, in your actuality, you're going after yourself. Because the consciousness through the quantum structure is a mirror image of your projection of thoughts, emotions, and deeds. And that, the thought, the emotion, and the deeds, every thought has a frequency, vibration, magnetic and gravitational field, and whatever you project, this is what you're shifting into. And they taught me moment to moment to be the best of myself to anybody, not to become more than the person, because you're looking at yourself, mirror image of yourself. So you cannot be more than that person because you're projecting yourself. And yet through the structure you may gather information. So in actuality, when you learn everything, you are talking to yourself through another expression. And that's what really is. So you can play that game. Consciousness is playing, consciousness is creating. It never stops, it always expands. This is how you actually create in different parallel realities, and the different parallel realities create different timelines of existence, and every existence is different plane of modality and what you can do and how you can experience different time, because you want to just have fun. If you're at the beach all the time, you want to go to the mountains. If in the mountains, vice versa, you will get bored. So why not learn what is to be suppressed, and from the darkness you go into the light, and back vice versa, because energy is energy. You don't know how to implement that energy if you don't know the alchemy of creation. And this is exactly what they told me. If you know the alchemy of creation, you can basically, it doesn't matter what somebody is telling you, it doesn't matter how they project anything from you. It's up to you to agree or disagree, and you can literally give a gratitude, because you cannot reject your own creation. And the gratitude is to neutralize the frequency that is coming, and then you say, you know what, thank you very much for your resistance. I'm going to create my own structure, and I'm shifting to a completely different timeline, that it doesn't have to be into poverty, into suppression. And this is what humanity needs to understand, that in a quantum structure, is not like I have to see it to believe it. You have to believe it, you have to project it, and you have to act on it through the frequency in order to see it, because God, you're projecting, you're the consciousness itself. And if you understand there is nobody outside of you, you basically can create anything you want, and nobody can suppress you. You create your own world and let everybody else be. So that's why when they were talking about eye for an eye, was exactly the system that you're going after yourself, and it becomes like a looping cycle of constantly on and on and on, and you can get out, and you're curious why all this stuff is happening to you. It's happening to you because you've been reprojecting and going after your own existence of expression without knowing the structure. Whoever did the manipulation, I would say, was brilliant, because it kept you in suppression in order for you to not to realize how powerful you are. You're so powerful that you're actually creating a situation for yourself to be suppressed.